This is a 2022 Mazda MX-5 Miata. I wanted to give you an extended walk around to go over some of the aftermarket cosmetic accessories that I put on the car, as well as tell you a little bit more about the car, perhaps some information that may not clearly come through just with the words and pictures in the listing. The first thing to note is that yes, this is a model year 2022. However, in many ways, it almost feels like a 2023. And let me explain to you what I mean. This car was built in October of 2022, so pretty late in the year. And you can see that, of course, right in the door jamb manufacturing sticker. This should be listed on the pictures, but I'll show you that as well. You can see October 2022. So that's when the car was built, in late 22. And then I picked it up brand new off of a dealer lot in January of 2023. So this car's only been on the road for 2.5 years, not 3.5 years. If you're thinking it's been on the road since 2022, 23, 24, and half of 25, that makes it feel like it's basically like a 3.5-year-old car, and it's not. It's more like a 2.5-year-old car, as it was manufactured in late 22. Many vehicles manufactured at that date would have carried the 2023 model year for the following year, of course, but Mazda did not do that with these Miatas. So it is built in late 22. I picked it up brand new off the dealer lot here in Phoenix, Arizona in January of 23. So it's been on the road about 2.5 years with just over 16,000 miles, maybe 16,200 in that range. I don't drive it very often, as you can tell by the miles. And it's time for a family car to support the growing family. So this one has to go, and probably some 4-door sedan or something like that is gonna take its place in the garage. Speaking of the garage, let me pop the hood. Looks like some of the vehicles are already arriving this morning. Pardon the noise in the background of all the trucks rolling in to this parking lot. Okay, let me put this up. Speaking of the garage, this car is in a insulated, climate-controlled garage. So it is always air conditioned. We don't really need heat in the winter here. The garage keeps it warm enough. So this car basically lives life in the 65-degree to 75-degree range all year round. Always garaged, always washed every week. So the top is in great shape. All the car, the paint, all the trim, everything's in great shape because this car is not out in the sun out here in Phoenix. Okay, let's start with the first one, the Flying Miata gas struts. These things really help keep the hood a little higher to prevent my head from hitting the top of the hood. I'm almost 6'1", and so with the normal OEM kickstand, which I'll show you here, you can see the new height here is about 4 inches or so higher than the height of the OEM kickstand. And I liked the hood being a little higher and not having that bar in the way when I'm poking my head around underneath the hood here. And just to clarify, even though the listing shows this car as modified, I'll go ahead and close the hood, even though it shows it as modified, it's only these cosmetic modifications. There's no mechanical modifications of any kind. This car is 100% stock with the engine, suspension, brakes, exhaust. So you've got a great platform, a great foundation if you want to make any changes. And you can make them the way you want to instead of the way I did it, which in this case I did not. So it is a stock car mechanically. Back to the model year, again, built in late 2022. I picked it off the dealer lot January 23. One thing that's important about that is the warranty. So this car comes with a 3-year, 36,000 mile bumper to bumper warranty and a 5-year, 60,000 mile powertrain warranty, which for me is probably the more important one. The bumper-to-bumper warranty still has about 4 months left through the remainder of this calendar year, 2025, and then an additional 2 years after that, and a lot more miles, about 44,000 miles remaining on the powertrain warranty. So you have a lot of cushion there, a lot of miles you can put on the car before this thing is out of warranty in 2 more years. You basically have 2 years and 4 months and over 40,000 miles, and the car is still under warranty for the 5-year, 60,000 mile powertrain warranty. So all of that for a 2022. I don't know if that really comes through clearly on the listing. Want to make sure that you know about that. Okay, so we showed you the hood struts, the gas struts. The other one is this carbon Miata blackout emblems in the front and the back. Over here we have some clear lens side marker lights and a clear lens side flasher lights, the turn indicators. There's the other side marker lights. In the back, LED flashers for the turn signals, and there's an LED light strip right under the lip of that hood. Be sure to watch the video of the walk around at night to see all of that. More blacked out emblems, and you can see more pictures as well. There's a few different versions of the MX-5 or Roadster Word, and another one of the SkyActiv technology if you choose to use a different one. One of my favorites is this stubby antenna from Craven Speed. Really solid piece, solid aluminum. This just is a great accessory for Miatas. I've had no trouble with wind noise, no trouble with AM/FM reception of any kind. Now moving to the interior, we'll pop open the hood and I'll show you. I'm sorry, pop open this door here and I'll show you one of my favorites as well. I chose the white, of course, with the black trim. I thought it looked great, and I really liked the all-white car and high gloss black with these little splashes of red. Of course, the big red front caliper Brembo brakes look great. The Mazda ones, they're smaller in the back, and therefore I added these door bushings in red also. So you get a little bit of that red brake caliper, the red door bushing. These are from Craven Speed, and they're not just red only, and it's not the only reason I bought them. I bought them because they are bigger. They're definitely bigger and beefier than the OEM ones, and they fill this gap here, that spacer on the door, a lot better. It gives the door a little bit of a more solid feel, opening and closing the door, and just even the ride. It's very subtle but noticeable compared to the OEM. So when I took those OEM ones out, put these ones on, with opening and closing the doors, I could tell a little difference. And of course, it's that nice red. Even the little seatbelt button is red, which is kind of cool. And I had a couple other red components in here that I'll show you in a moment. Then moving on to this windscreen. This is also from Craven Speed, a clear acrylic windscreen. I like this one better than the OEM. The OEM is smaller, shorter, that is, with that black mesh, black plastic with that black mesh on the bottom. This one I liked because it was clear. It just kind of made that space disappear. It's a lot easier to see, it was for me, from the rear view mirror looking backward, or if I'm checking my blind spot over here on the right, just looking over my right shoulder. It's just easier to see. It's just not in the way as much as the OEM. Because it's taller, it does block the wind better, and in my driving experience, again, it's subtle but noticeable, and it just makes the cockpit just a little more comfortable. And again, at almost 6'1", the wind just kind of goes right over my head. I can feel the air around me, but it's not blowing me around inside the cockpit. So just a wonderful driving experience this car is. I'm sure you've driven them by now, but if you haven't, it's just amazing. What a really joy to drive. And I hope it goes to a good home that appreciates the car. Let's keep looking in the interior. As I mentioned, I had the red door bushings. Now it's not shown here, but you do see it in some of the other pictures. I did have a shift knob, a Craven Speed shift knob that was, it's a black resin with a red disc on top. And there's two different versions of that. One solid red, the other one is red with the gear shift pattern and the Craven Speed logo on it. I really like the appearance of the other shift knob better than the OEM, but over time I myself just did not prefer the feel of it. The resin just felt a little too plasticky for me, so I went back to the one with the leather and the stitching, and I just like the feel of that better. But if you want to put the other one back on, especially with that red disc, it's just another splash of red, and it does look really cool. Okay, this is probably my favorite accessory of all. This Ken style steering wheel with a D cut on the bottom. It's got a flat bottom and also flat sides. Now I chose this one really, again, because of my height and just fitting in the car. Although I didn't really expect this, that's why I went with the flat bottom. But what I was surprised by in a good way was I could get in and out of the car a little easier. My legs weren't hitting the steering wheel. Just again, another subtle change, but definitely noticeable. So your legs are, you know, kind of in here on the sides, and this D cut here, the flat sides, give your legs a little more room. It just gives it. This is a comfy cockpit, not a lot of extra room in here, and so something small like the flat side steering wheel that gives your legs a little extra room is noticeable. And of course the flat bottom looks great. So this is all leather, that perforated leather on the sides. If you like the 10 and 2 driving position, they're extra thick in those positions. The steering wheel is already thicker than the OEM, but a nice thickness. Just those 10 and 2s are even more. And then of course in the 9 and 3 positions, it's got that nice grip. Forget what they call that, a gun grip or a saddle grip. Fits your hand perfectly. And of course, again, the red stitching, and just another little splash of red in the car. So with all the little splashes of red, which I like, I thought that looked great against this white with all the black trim and a few splashes of red. So there you have it, a 2022 Mazda MX-5 Miata that may be closer even to a 2023 model. The only other two items to mention are the transmission and the windshield. The transmission was replaced right around 7,500 miles, I think. I have all the records for the vehicle, so you can get copies of those. I don't recall the mileage off the top of my head. It was right around 7,500. I was having trouble getting into fourth gear, and at some point then it was just locked out completely, so I had to drive this thing around, shifting from third to fifth, which of course is not long-term drivable, and not when the car only has 7,500 miles on it. So I took it into the Mazda dealer, and they looked at it, they called Mazda, and I guess dealt with whoever with the technical services or whoever the dealers work with, and Mazda said just go ahead and replace the car. Maybe I could have got a red cap in there, that would have been cool, but I didn't do that. Mazda said just go ahead and replace the transmission outright. So this thing has a brand new transmission. Obviously an OEM transmission, not rebuilt, not repaired, nothing like that. Brand new transmission, right around 7,500 miles. And the new transmission have had no troubles at all with it. And of course this one is past the mileage that I had on the first one, and haven't had any issues at all, not even a hint of any of the same issues I had on that last transmission. So it's nice and crisp. short shifts, just wonderful transmission this little Miata has on it, as you would normally expect. Got rid of the bad one, and we got a good one. And then the glass, here on the Arizona freeways, there's some rocks, so there was a chip on the real corner kind of side here, so really unrepairable, and that caused a kind of a crack to grow over time right across the windshield. And as I went to get it replaced, we found that the Mazda OEM part for the windshield was on back order until August. So I got that ordered and ready to go, and I was getting ready to do it in August this month, and it was back ordered. It was still back ordered, I should say, and they pushed it back even farther to November. And so who knows if that's even going to happen. They have no estimated time at all. Therefore, I had to get it fixed with aftermarket glass. So I chose this Pilkington brand. I've used them before. If you know glass and windows, Pilkington, good company, good brand of glass. They are the OEM, or have been the OEM supplier for many brands over the years, Mercedes, BMW, a lot of great brands. So I trusted the Pilkington glass more than the Safe Light stuff or something similar. Went with good quality glass, the best I could get that was not Mazda OEM. So that has been done, and as a result, when you do that, some of the brackets of these underneath here, the plastic things break. So all these moldings around the windshield are also Mazda OEM, brand new as of August. So they're not even a month old. And that's it. That is the Mazda 2022 MX-5 Miata. Hope it goes to a good home. Good luck in the auction. Now that you know a little bit more about the car, even though it's a 22 model, it's a little bit of a special 2022 model, still with plenty of warranty and miles remaining. Thanks for watching. Good luck in the auction.